Hello, this is Mark Hicks with North American Fishermen. I've got a little tabletop project for you I think you're going to like. It's going to be about making what I call a kinder culling device. Now, the most popular culling devices in use today consist of a float. They have different colors so you can tell which one is which with the clip on the end. And I've used these for years. They work great. You clip your fish on, throw them in the live well. If you have several fish in there, you can just grab the float that has the smallest fish, the one you want, pull it out. You don't have to stir around in your live well and disturb the rest of the fish. You can make the switch very quickly and get the fish back in. It's easier on your fish, and it saves you tons of time, especially if you're having a good day and you're catching a lot of bass and you're doing a lot of culling. Now, the downside with this type of system is the clip itself. It's basically a large safety pin that you run up through the soft tissue behind the jaw of a fish. You poke a hole in there, you bring it out, and then you clip it on. I'm sure the fish recover from that all right, but there's just something about poking holes in the fish I love to catch that doesn't sit well with me. So I learned how to make a kinder culling device from a pro. He lives in Ohio. His name is Michael Simonton. He fishes the Bassmaster Elite Series. And he's taught me a way that you can make a float system that will not harm the bass, won't put any holes in them. Here's how we're going to do it. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is some type of a float. Now, if you already have a float type culling system, you can steal the floats from it. That's what I'm going to do. And a nice thing about that is I can also steal this clip, which I'm going to use in my final culling system. If you don't have a clip like this, you could use maybe a snap swivel, an oversized snap swivel. That'll work too. Another thing you're going to need is some grass trimmer string. Now make sure you get the round string. Some of it is square and has 4 sharp edges, and you don't want that rubbing against your bass. So make sure you get the round string. And you're going to need an electrician's crimping tool and a pair of side cutters, and you're going to need some sleeves, some crimp sleeves. These are for electricians. I found them at Lowe's in the electrician's department. They're for 10 to 18 gauge wire, and they work just fine for what we're going to do here. Now, to speed things up a little bit, I've already clipped off the wire that connected this float with this clip. And I've already cut a piece of grass trimmer string. This is maybe 16 inches long. It's longer than I need, but it'll make it easier to work with. First thing you do is slide the string through one of the crimps. Then you slide on your float, and then you slide on the clip. Okay, I've run this through here. I'm going to just run the end of that loop right back through. Make a nice loop, not too tight because I want to give that a little bit of freedom to move around. And I'm going to crimp it on with the electrician's tool. 2 nice crimps will do the job. Okay, now I've got a tag in here where I don't want it sticking out because that will catch on your other lines and that can make a tangled mess in your live well. So I'm going to use my side cutters to clip that off. Okay, now the other end we're going to do the same thing, only we're not going to add anything. We're going to put the crimp on, and we're just going to run the line back through, and this time we're going to make a much smaller loop. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to crimp this on. And again, we don't want this tag end on here because that is going to cause some problems in your live well. So I'm going to use my side cutters and eliminate that problem right there. And here we have it. We have our, what I like to call the kinder culling device. All right, so we've made our kinder culling device. Now how the heck do you use this thing? Okay, it's pretty simple. You take the end with a small loop, you run it in the bass's mouth and out under the gill plate. Now it's extremely important that you go under the gill plate and not under the gills or through the gills because that would harm the bass. You want to stay away from those gills. Through the mouth, under the gill plate. Then you take the small loop, you put it on the clip, and you clip it up. And there you go. You've got your float, you got your fish securely hooked, and you didn't have to put a hole in them. It's a simple project to do, doesn't cost much, doesn't take much time. I think you're going to like this, and I know the fish are going to like it.